Hello, Murray Newlands here with Performance Marketing Insider TV, speaking with Ted, who is the founder and CEO of EngageBDR. Ted, in this video, we want to look at why sometimes paying more for your display ads actually gets you a better result. Why is that?
Well, Murray, it's simple. You get what you pay for, and that's very apparent here in display. What I mean by this is it breaks down to a couple elements. If you look at a top 500 site, let's say one of your top weather sites, which a lot of performance marketers love and hold very dear to them. A lot of people that are experienced on those kinds of sites will tell you right away that the rate is a big dictator of performance. What I mean by this is position on page, for example, above the fold versus below the fold. You know, it can mean night and day. It could be death, or you could be buying Lamborghinis tomorrow. It could. There's other things like frequency. Now, frequency will also be determined by price. Now, if you buy a low frequency, it's generally going to cost more. If you buy a higher frequency, they're probably going to give you a better deal. Other things like impression curve. That's one of the biggest factors, which is, hey, I'm competing against an auto insurance guy. I'm in the auto insurance vertical potentially, and the other guy is paying 10 cents more than me. Well, guess what? He's getting the click before you are, and he's going to perform better than you. So early bird gets the worm, and in this case, impression curve is very it's very relevant to performance. So impression curve, position on page, frequency, day parting as well. So you could run something for 7 days a week, and some places it just doesn't work well as far as from a performance marketing perspective. And then you also have time parting, which is sometimes some hours during the day perform better than others, and sometimes when you're testing a campaign and you're running a new campaign, it's very important to isolate it to the best performing times, because you have a lot of other unknown variables, which are like your landing page, maybe your pre-sale page, your ads, and some of those things might not be tested. So you want to limit it to the time of day and the days of the week where you know should perform the best. And generally those are the days and the times that are native to that time zone or that country. So typically it's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's pretty typical, but I wouldn't limit it to that, because you might be losing some good hours, and some offers perform better and other times than others. So the cost for day porting is obviously going to cost more, because you're limiting your audience. So there's less inventory available during those times. So that would cost more. That with above the fold and versus below the fold, that costs more. Frequency capping costs more. And early bird gets the worm, which is impression curve. That also costs more. Generally, if you know what after testing for a while and you know what you're doing, it's could be worthwhile. You could leverage a few of these strategies, and it could make the world of difference, night and day, between what you're running right now potentially on a site, run of network versus, or below the fold, versus this sort of a premium strategy where you're competing for the first click, and you have the capability of paying a very high rate and monetizing it well. It's very different for you to, if you're used to buying the cheapest CPMs and you want to try spending the most money all of a sudden out of nowhere, it might be a kind of a shock for you as far as from the budget perspective and looking at performance. It's something that some campaigns can sustain and others cannot. So it just depends how well your creatives can click potentially, etc.
Fantastic. If people want to learn more and connect with you, how do they do that, Ted?
They could email me direct. It's ted@engagebdr.com.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Murray Newlands. You're watching Performance Marketing Insider TV. I'll see you next time.